Oh hi, my name is Wussy. I'm 15. I'm the devil's son. I go to Hogwarts basically. Today is Monday, so yeah. My mum, she's a teacher at Hogwarts. My dad, he is a reader in hell. Let me show you first. Bedroom, kitchen, no. Bedroom, book area, teleport area, then lounge room, gaming area, up there is kitchen, then table, as you can already tell. You see me eating my pizza basically there. Then here is where I go. You know what I mean? Outside of the apartment. Let's go to Hogwarts. Hi there, mate. Take care of that while I go to Hogwarts. Hi there, bye there. I can catch a train or I can walk to Hogwarts. I'm going to walk to Hogwarts. Oh, see y'all when I'm at Hogwarts, yo. Here we are at Hogwarts. Fuck, the gate is not working. Well, I have to go around. Let's try something here. Talking our character for a second. Where is it? Here, I think. There. No, okay. Well, eventually. Okay, I know what to do. Doesn't work, so be it. It's whatever. Well, fuck. Yeah, right here, basically. And where was that? This is, well, this here. 3, 2, 1, action. And I'm part of Hufflepuff, as you can tell. Gang gang. Look at this place. Well, shit. Yo. Hi there, buddy. Hit me. Go on. Try to do something, mate. Where I have to go? Is this too powerful here? Where is it? Took an knockout for a second. Maybe 5? Yeah, 5 would do. Okay, 3, 2, 1, action. First class is this class here. Good morning, class. Class dismissed. Cool. My second class for the day should be not this way, yo, but not here. Somewhere around. Not that class again. No, not that class. This. Nope. No. And here. Good morning, class. Class dismissed. Cool. My last class for the day into the afternoon should be here. Good morning, class. Okay, class dismissed. Have fun at break. Come, buddy. Try it. Try it. Come on. Try it. Try it. Is this too powerful for to work? Shit, my bad. Yeah, I think it's too powerful still. What about here? Yep. Still too powerful. Here. Yep. Too powerful for the character. Yep. What about just here? Yeah, fun tree. Okay. Let's try something here. Let's try something. Where is it? Lava. Here. Yeah. Hang on. Fire resistance. That's why. That's most likely why, yo. Of course, okay. I'm gonna wait until maybe I could try this way instead. So let's cut from here. Will these go down here, yo? Or is it not boost? Yep. And strength as well. Strength. Or maybe not strength. No strength for this character. So, where was it? Boost, that's what. Boost. And here. Let's go. Let's see. Yeah, nah, infantry. Even with fire. Okay. Infantry still no. So, no infantry. No health. Just health boost and that's all pretty much. Just health boost. Now I know. Waste your time basically. So yeah, let's get rid of this. Go through here, yo. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. And go over here. Okay, good. It's disappearing. Good. 3, 2, 1. And 3, 2, 1. And 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. And action. Bond will die. Good luck trying to attack me, man. What are you gonna do, huh? Go on, hit me. Hit me again. Go on. I mean, cast a spell on me. Do it again. Go on. I'm waiting for it. Is it because flashlight on or? Oh, no matter. Let's go. 3, 2, 1 action. Let's go to down here. Let's go to over here and do. Don't know what that's for, but oh. Bye. I've got time for you, mate. Shit. Yeet. Hi. Hit me. Gone. Bye. Here we are. Let's go till here we do. Born. Born. Yeet. Three, two, one, three, two, one, and three, two, one. These are for radar. But these new spells the character have to unlock first. So far he only unlocked. Actually no, scratch that. Where is it? Here. 3 spells the character unlock. That class over there. Each class the character unlocks new spells. So yeah. Okay, get rid of this again. Get rid of this. And this. Okay, 3, 2, 1, action. Hell yeah. I just unlocked my new spell, yo. Let's try it. Yo, it's OP. Take that, you motherfucker. Have no bun. These are close range spells. There are no use for fucking. They're good, but they are no use for in long range. Fuck. Yeet. And the bond. Three. Actually, no. For now on, scratch that spell. For now, the character will unlock it later, but for now, scratch this spell. Yep, maybe. Yeah, here definitely. And where is it? And here. Oh, okay, yeah. Is this spell what I was looking for? Well, does this... Well, I'll be right back. I'll get this mod working as well, so yeah. Well, hang on. So it takes time, okay. Yeah, that's the, okay, cool. Actually, tornado, scratch that. What I will have though is this. Okay, 3, 2, 1, action. Fucking hell, I hate this. Whatever, it's right. Get rid of this. Okay, 3, 2, 1, action. Spawn, spawn. Three, two, one, action. And the bond. These here guys are just training. The actual monsters, but these are easy monsters. The harder monsters are in the Alabama forest area. So yeah, this is just easy training. Just get ready for the harder monsters. That's why they allow these monsters, you know, around the course area. But the harder monsters, no, they're not allowed. Die. 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 Easy. 3, 2, 1. Action. Let's go to here we do. Let's go to over here. No, in the courtyard, yeah. Here, up here. Press play.
Before midnight, I could shower without worrying about spazzing out and breaking my neck or brushing my teeth without shoving my toothbrush into the back of my throat. For a while, I felt like myself again. So I figured I'd give that bistro another go. Hey, maybe I could ask her for her name this time. I decided I'd go a little later when there weren't as many people around. Maybe. The waitress started to lock things up. There was this display case in the window that she couldn't close, and she kept messing around with this half-broken padlock. She fuddled with it for a solid 5 minutes before one of the regulars, an older man, fixed it for her. Can't underestimate the old-timers. And as that lock clicked shut, it all came back with a vengeance. This time I shot out of my chair, cursing like a sailor. I tore at my hair and jumped up and down, trying to warm myself up and get the adrenaline out. I looked at the pretty waitress and the old man, only to see a third figure behind them. A woman with brown lake-roughened hair, opening and closing her mouth like a fish out of water, staring at me with pin-sized eyes.
Hey, son.
I just ran.
Hey,
I got
Mama.
up, fell through the front door, and just ran.
When I saw all 3 spaces styled and completed, I had an OMG moment.
Can we get the sweater pot?
Let's get the sweater pot. We're in the study, it's going to be cozy.
Easter in Australia means backyard cricket, camping trips, Easter egg hunts, and Daryl
I
Lee.
want you to get
100%
me
made for
pregnant,
Aussie Easter.
son.
Choose the
Got it,
delicious
Mummy.
Easter range
Thank
that's
you.
been Australian made
Beautiful.
since 1927.
It was louder,
Love you,
sending
Daddy,
spikes
son.
of ice
Love
up
you
my
too, Mama.
spine. I couldn't feel my feet, causing me to stumble every step of the way. I finally collapsed in a nearby alley, violently throwing up as stomach acid made its way up the back of my throat. But it didn't stop. It wouldn't stop. She was there. I looked up from the ground, only to see her pallid feet. I could smell nothing but blood and wildflowers.
So,
I
Mama.
backed out.
Yes, son, Daddy?
I could hear her
You're
following
doing
me.
a fuckhead.
People were staring at me from across the street as I made my way back to my car. I got my keys, got in, and locked the doors. I covered my ears and eyes, rubbing my hands against my head. I could still hear it. Her, Sally. Dead eyes in the rearview mirror. Convulsions rubbing against the backseat leather. Enough! I screamed. I turned around, and there was nothing. I sat for at least 15 minutes. I tried calming myself down. I wiped my shirt clean. I couldn't go on living like this. I couldn't live in fear of being judged every time I stepped outside. I had to do something, anything. I got out of my car. The bistro had closed.
From the bond.
Desperate to explain myself, I looped around to the back. I figured I could explain myself at a distance. Just say something. Try not to look too threatening. There was only one car in the parking lot behind the bistro. Empty. I cursed myself for being an idiot. I felt like a stalker. The words of Jonah Morley rung in my ears. In a way, I must have looked just like him. Someone seemingly
From the
obsessed
bond.
with a
So,
pretty
we're doing a fuckhead.
A thought crossed my mind,
In Hogwarts.
an uncomfortable thought. I took a closer look at the car. The left front tire was flat. I looked a little bit closer. Now, I'm no expert, but it sure looked like it'd been cut with something sharp. I straightened my back and thought about it. The knife that convicted Jonah Morley had been found in his locker, behind a padlock. He'd been seen talking to this girl in a very public place. and he'd been marked early on as a bit of a weirdo. Maybe because
Down
of
there.
his recreational drug use. This was
What? Down there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's go there. There. Nice. Secluded spot.
Yeah.
Three, two, one. For now, this will be off. Peaceful will be on. So yeah, for now, peaceful will be on. After when that check, peaceful will be off. Or when the character fuck that check. You know what I mean? Shit. Okay, 3, 2, 1, action. So here.
Yeah. Down here. Follow me.
Got it.
This one now. Keep up. Yeah. Here.
Here.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay, 3, 2, 1. And action. Press play.
a bit too similar, like hauntingly similar. And as I looked across the parking lot, I saw Sally Alger
You got
standing
badass,
under
mama.
a streetlight.
Nice tips
She didn't
too.
make a
Thank you,
single
Sunday.
sound.
You're welcome, mama.
She just pointed down the road. This time, I ran towards danger, the exact opposite of where my instincts were telling me to go.
And the bun.
The ice in my stomach gave way to warm blood, pumping through me like a steam engine. I ran down a small one-lane road leading back to a set of row houses. My loafers smacked against the pavement in a rhythm that put me in a trance. My breathing grew steady. In, out. In, out. Another streetlight. Sally pointed me in a new direction. I followed a small dirt path into a dark forest, past the sugar maples, not too far from my neighborhood. I could hear people talking. A young woman. An old man. A scream. As I came around the bend, I saw the pretty waitress and the old man, her regular, the same one who'd helped her with the lock for the display. He had a knife. The waitress was holding the side of her stomach, fumbling backwards. I tackled him. It wasn't a good hit, but it was straight on. The guy was built like a retired quarterback, but I rattled him. Still, in that moment, I knew I'd messed up. My head suddenly started spinning as he headbutted me. I was sent reeling back, pushed up against a broken old streetlight. "Who the hell are you?" he screamed at me. "Why the hell do you keep staring at me?" A thrust of the knife, going straight through my triceps. "Why are you staring?" he kept repeating. "Why the hell are you staring?" He kicked me, smacking me into the streetlight again. I sank to the ground, holding my arm. I looked for something, anything, but there wasn't even a rock around. Just gravel, and I couldn't even lift my arm enough to throw it. And a moment of recognition washed over him. Maybe I looked at him the same way I'd looked at him that day, all those years ago.
Start your day with prayer.
We knew each other. He took me back to my parents. In that moment of hesitation, there was a flicker, and as the streetlight turned itself on, there she was, Sally Alger, with her lake-roughened hair. The old man turned to face her. She didn't scream. She didn't attack. She just looked at him and opened her mouth. He fell to the ground, lifeless, as the lights went out. And then Sally was gone.
So, do you smoke weed?
It turns out that
Yes.
old man was
Cool.
Peter Pops Harrigan,
Well, let's
a
smoke.
retired
Yeah.
police detective
Cool.
who'd investigated the
Smoke.
murder of Sally
Okay.
Alger.
You're welcome.
He'd been pretty close to her, which is why he'd been handed the case in the first place.
Well, you
Turns
know,
out,
within her
He
bond
was the
smoke.
one who'd
couple
conveniently
knives
found the
is a while.
knife. After that case, he'd moved upstate. He recently moved back to his hometown of Juniper
Well,
and decided to
what
take
now?
up this old hobby of his. Since his death, officers discovered there was some disturbing evidence in his home,
Yeah,
but the details were never revealed to the public. Things kicked into high gear just days after that. I went through grueling interviews with people who personally knew Pops, and they weren't all that friendly about it. But the waitress corroborated my story to the best of her ability. I'd heard her scream and been a good Samaritan. And that was that. They figured the stress of being confronted was just too much for his heart to bear. Some kind of blood vessel had burst. Jonah Morley is currently in the process of being exonerated. I don't plan on meeting him again, but I'm glad the truth came out. I hope he can find some kind of peace in himself. And as for me, well, this ain't no fairy tale, but the waitress's name is Elaine, and we're meeting up for Paw Paw ice cream next week.
Which was another story.
I always wanted to be a park ranger, for as long as I can remember. Being out in nature, hiking, camping, and fishing, that was pretty much all I wanted to do as a kid. Once I realized that profession existed, it was my only career pursuit, and I trained for it like an astronaut going to outer space. Reading up on all the necessary qualifications, I learned that it was a pretty daunting undertaking in a lot of ways. To be a park ranger, you need to be an expert outdoorsman. You need to be physically strong and have good endurance. You need to be confident with firearms if you're working in an area with bears and cougars. And you need to have first aid training and a range of other certifications. But those hurdles didn't stop me. They inspired me. Throughout my late teens and early 20s, I had a cork board on my bedroom wall with every park ranger requirement listed on it, flanked by photos of my favorite national parks, and I checked the qualifications off one by one, celebrating as I achieved them. Living at home with my parents, I saved up every penny I earned, with the goal of going to school for conservation enforcement, one of several programs geared toward people in my aspiring line of work. Eventually, I got my diploma from a nearby community college, which was about all that I could afford. It took a while, and I worked a lot of shitty odd jobs, but eventually I was hired full-time by the Forestry Service as a fire lookout. This was after at least 30 rejected applications. By that point, the recruiters probably knew my resume off by heart, without even reading it. I was thrilled, and I accepted the job with a cry of joy over the phone, to which my boss laughed and said he was looking forward to meeting me. Throughout my on-the-job training, I picked things up quickly, and my supervisor, named Ross, said I was a natural. It wasn't long before he was sending me out alone to clear brush or do simple things, despite the fact that he was supposed to be shadowing me all the time. He said he trusted me, and that it took a lot to gain his trust. On my last day of training at Fire Tower 14, we were sitting in the cabin playing chess, when Ross noticed something in the distance. a bit of smoke rising up out of the trees. It was just a wisp of white smoke, indicative of a campfire.
Well, we should.
Handing the binoculars to me and pointing. I saw it immediately and nodded, thinking it'd be nice to get out and do something different.
Dungeon.
The routine of clearing brush and taking out the trash, reading books and playing board games and cards was getting monotonous. It was late afternoon, and there were still several hours of sunlight left. I grabbed my backpack and my rifle, filled my canteen with water, and was about to set out when Ross muttered something over my shoulder.
Son of a bitch,
he said, a little louder this time. It wasn't like him to curse, and I was a little surprised to hear him do it. Ross reminded me of a Boy Scout in a man's body. His enthusiasm for the job was infectious, and he was almost always in a good mood. What? I asked, walking over to join him.
Another one. Nobody bothers to get a camping permit these days anymore.
He pointed at another fire burning in the distance, this one a little closer. Normally, we wouldn't go out to bother campers, but these were not registered camping sites, and people like that often didn't bother to clean up after themselves, and sometimes got injured out in the woods since they weren't prepared. Most people who care enough to go camping properly will actually acquire a camping permit. They know it isn't worth the risk of being fined. These people clearly didn't care.
You know what?
Ross said, looking at me.
This is actually perfect. It's your last day of training, which means next time something like this happens, you'll be on your own. Nobody around for miles. So let's split up the two offenders and we'll each take one. I'll be in radio contact with you the whole time. They look like they're only a couple miles away from each other. How's that sound?
Despite the fact that I'd been eager for the job my entire life, now that I was faced with the prospect of doing it alone, I was a little nervous. But I nodded my head, agreeing with his plan. All right, let's do it, I said.
Just like we practiced,
he told me, as we began to climb down the stairs from the tower.
Don't get into any confrontations. If they want to get into an argument, you walk away and you call me for backup. Otherwise, just give them the citation and move on. Tell them to find a new campsite, or we'll be back to confiscate their gear. You know, the usual routine.
The two of us took the Jeep, which was parked at the base of the tower, and drove down the dirt trail until we saw the first vehicle pulled over at the side of the road. It was empty, with no one inside.
All right, you take this one. Radio me once you make contact. Remember, don't take any unnecessary risks. If anything doesn't seem right, you just let me know.
He looked very nervous all of a sudden, and it was making me more worried than I'd been a second before. He looked like he wanted to say something else and opened his mouth as if he were about to do so. But then he shook his head, as if telling himself not to. After a few seconds of awkwardness, I reassured him I'd radio once I made contact. He told me to get going and stay safe, driving off once I'd shut the passenger door of the Jeep. And I was left alone, surrounded by wilderness. Taking a deep breath and letting it out, I began to march into the trees.
Good girl. Well, let's do this.
Done.